Hello, my name is Duke Walker, and I serve as the chaplain for the beloved people of Lanier Village Estates in the North Georgia mountains. Today, I'd like to explore Exodus chapter 3 and the burning bush. The burning bush is one of those often referenced stories in scriptures, whether someone is a believer or not. Yet the power in the passage lies not so much in the miracle of the burning bush, though that's amazing, but in the encounter that happens between God and Moses, between God and humanity. As we continue to explore living life prayerfully, you'll recall that our best beginnings are in silence, as we discovered in Genesis 1. And then we realized in Exodus 2 that God is the God who first listens to us and hears the groanings of the Israelites in slavery. But this being silent as our beginning in prayer and our being listened to first by God all lead us to Exodus chapter 3. Notice the language in Exodus chapter 3. In verse 2, it says, "There an angel of the Lord appeared to him. And Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, I will go over and see. When the Lord saw that Moses had gone over to look, God called to him." Kind of a simple analogy, but indulge me if you will. Those of you that are married and have a spouse who has had a remote control in their hands before and you've tried to speak to them, maybe they didn't exactly hear what you were saying. Notice in the scripture how God and Moses are both taking notice of each other and how that paying attention leads to an encounter between them. It's extraordinary, and often it gets missed in this burning bush, this miraculous scene, but the power in the passage is that God and humanity are having a real encounter. It's out of this relationality that God gets involved in human history. Moses, after his encounter with God, becomes crucial in God's deliverance of the Israelites from slavery in Egypt. It's through our growing closeness with God that we discover how we fit into what God is doing in the world, in our communities that we live in. And this is where prayer gets real interesting. For we never know where and how God will send us into the world, into the dining room, into the libraries on campus, into the craft rooms, into the pools, into the workout rooms, into administrative offices. So the next time you pray, slow down and begin with silence. Then wait for a sense of the room being stilled and know that God is listening to you. And then risk an encounter with the living God and see what happens next and how God sends you out into the place where you live. if you would like to email me some of your questions about prayer, I'd be glad to explore them after we complete our basics of prayer that we've been working through. This was session 3 of 5. Once we get through all 5, then I'll start responding to the questions I receive. Thanks for tuning in, and I trust that your time in prayer today will culminate in an encounter with a living God and in encounters with those whom you live with. Peace.